So you see this as one of those opportunities that could put investors on the fast track to wealth? Will it be part of your fast track millionaire portfolio?
Absolutely. The company tells me it can extract uranium from coal ash for about $35 a pound. Now the spot price of uranium is about $45, but the long-term contracts value it at about $60 a pound. So that gives it a potential $10 per pound profit on the spot market and a fat $25 per pound profit on the long-term price. Not only has the firm patented a series of complex chemical steps, it also has a buyer, China. This company has already signed a deal with the China National Nuclear Corporation to extract uranium from a site in Yunnan province. This deal gives the company exactly what it needs to monetize its process, a serious buyer with a long-term interest in procuring an uninterrupted supply of uranium. And let's be clear, China doesn't care what the uranium costs, only that it has access to it. About 50 nuclear reactors are being built right now worldwide, and about half of those are in China. So the country is desperate for uranium to fuel them. China is the largest coal user in the world. The coal ash from its power plants could keep this company busy for decades. So China could wind up using the waste from its power plants to generate electricity with almost no waste. The nice thing about this play is that it also has other mining properties, so that takes some of the risk out of the stock.
So what kind of returns do you see as possible for investors?
Some of the greatest fortunes in the world have been built on energy, and I think more are likely. And at 10 cents a share, it wouldn't cost too much to take a position of 100,000 shares. I've just finished a special report on this company called Turning Trash into Treasure. That report, along with Liquid Millions, is available starting today. Now, I'm not selling either of those reports, by the way. They're free to every new subscriber to Fast Track Millionaire.
Uranium, medical technology, enzymes, water purification. Sounds like you're all over the place. How do you find these game changers?
Research. Lots of research. That's the approach that's worked for me. But for most investors, the problem is finding the time to do the research that they should. It takes hours in front of the computer screen, hours reading annual reports, hours scouring trade publications and news articles, hours on the laptop, listening to experts, reading blogs, sitting in on conference calls, looking at SEC filings. It never stops. I spend 60 hours a week feeding my brain information and looking for more. There's also a lot of phone time. I'm an old school reporter. I grew up in the newspaper business, and I don't feel right about signing off on an article until I talk to sources face-to-face, or at least phone-to-phone, or email-to-email. Now, I know most investors can't spend their days camped in front of a Bloomberg terminal or poring over SEC filings, and they're not going to have much luck getting a CEO on the phone either. But my Rolodex is crammed with CEOs, brokers, bankers, and other heavy hitters, and I talk to them every day.
As managing editor, I can attest to what you're saying. I sign off on a lot of expense statements, so I can tell you that not only is research time-consuming, it's expensive. Street Authority spends over $1 million a year on market intelligence. We have a small army of researchers with real-time access to every market in the world and the best information about any security traded anywhere. So are these fast-track plays for everyone, or just young people and thrill seekers?
Not at all. They should be part of a broader portfolio allocation strategy. For most investors, that means a standard formula between stocks and bonds, and that may be good advice, but it just doesn't go far enough for would-be millionaires. Because run-of-the-mill stocks or mutual funds won't make you rich, even if you put 100% of your money into them. The return, even in good years, simply isn't enough. It mathematically cannot deliver the returns needed to multiply your net worth in a short period of time. And a lot of these fast-track stocks are actually less risky than some blue chips. Just look at what happened to the so-called blue chip stocks in the past decade. The S&P is actually down. How can you be sure the next 10 years will be any different? Anyone who thinks that the market offers a guaranteed 10% return over the long term is just plain wrong. There are no guarantees going forward. All it takes is one or two big winners to change that. Besides, you're not just rolling the dice here. This is intelligent investing backed by research. Knowledge always mitigates risk. As I said earlier, more than 150 stocks were up 10 to 1 this past year. All you need is 2 investments like those in a row to turn $10,000 into $1 million. If you want to put a portion of your assets into stocks that can do this for you, then Fast Track Millionaire is the perfect place to start.
So finally, tell us, Andy, when will we be able to get a look at your Fast Track Millionaire portfolio?
Today's the day. The first issue is going online today, so whoever wants to get in on the ground floor can do so starting right now. I understand my publisher is putting together a charter subscription offer for Fast Track Millionaire that gives away the free research reports I've mentioned, as well as a host of other subscriber benefits. And all of this will be delivered immediately.
Thank you, Andy, for sitting down and sharing so much with us today.
My pleasure, sir.
I would also like to thank all of you for joining us for today's webcast. We look forward to seeing you next time.